Bismillah Rahmanir Rahim. I'm very much thankful to Rifa International University for inviting me to this very important seminar. Uh, First of all, I must say that my apologies, I couldn't join in person because I have to join another very important meeting in Karachi. Otherwise, I would be there. But it's my pleasure that I'm still there in this event as a virtual participants, and inshallah in future I'll try my best to join different events in person as well. So thank you once again to the university and the event organizer, Ms. Mubashira, for coordinating with me and organizing this event. Hopefully it will went very well. So let's start with my own journey of entrepreneurship. Before giving the introduction, I would like to give you some idea why entrepreneurship is very important for Pakistan. You know the situation of Pakistan, the import of Pakistan and export of Pakistan. You know the import of Pakistan are surplus than the total export of Pakistan. Our import are about 45 billion US dollars, and our exports are around 25 billion US dollars. So there is a huge gap. If we compare with some of other countries, for example, if we compare with Singapore, which is a knowledge-based economy, which there are a lot of startups there, the country is very small, and the total population is just 5.5 million. The total area is just 719 square kilometers. But the total export of Singapore are over 500 billion US dollars, and their import are just less than 500 billion US dollars. So you can have an idea if we compare Pakistan with such a small country. We have a lot of human resource. We have a lot of natural resources. Agriculture is there, minerals are there, but still we are much behind. And the entrepreneurship is the only way that we should start some new startups, some which will be definitely converted into small and medium enterprises, and which ultimately will result into big companies. And that will have a bigger impact on Pakistan. So this is how we can improve the situation. Before giving like my own journey, I would like to give you two examples, and so you can have an idea about the impact of entrepreneurship. I used to join the meeting just like the meeting I'm going presenting here. It is on Zoom. So I used to join meetings on Teams and Zoom, but I joined another meeting that was World Food Summit on a different software, and that was Hopin. So that was very much different than like the Zooms and meeting, and I was very impressed because that software gives you an opportunity to interact with the participants in person. So there are like meetings going on, just like this webinar or this seminar is being recorded. So just like this, but you have the opportunity that you can go to the like participants, you can go into another room and you can have the interaction with those in-person interactions. So that gives more opportunities. That was started by an engineer. He was actually originally from Lebanon. He moved to UK, and he was not very well, so he was on the hospital bed. And he used to have the meetings like the virtual meetings, and he thought that these are so boring. We should have some other software which give more opportunity to interact with each other. So he started as Hopin, and in just like in 2 years, the company has a worth of over 4 billion pounds. So you can imagine that how big is that company now. All the participants, all the workers of that company, they work remotely. They don't have an office, but the worth is like the person, Bu Farhad, who started that company. He is the youngest billionaire of UK. So this is how you can create an impact being like an entrepreneur. I give you another example from our neighboring country, India. There is a guy, he was a young person, he couldn't earn a lot of money, so he was a poor guy, and he even was not having enough savings or money in hand to start his own business. So where he was used to live, there was a hotel just opposite to his living place, and he visited that, and that was mostly empty all of the year. So he had a discussion with the owner, and he said to him that, look, I want to make some modification in this, and he agreed, and he started modifying the hotel. Like he introduced like new paintings there, new curtains, and then he had the room service there, added beautiful lights in the room, and took very good photographs, and he put on the like website. And the hotel which was empty, that was like, the power of internet, so they could attract a lot of customers, and the empty hotel was fully occupied. So this is how that was like idea. The idea worked, and in just 2 to 3 years, now he's the owner of world second largest hotel chain. So he owns more than uh, 40,000 hotels, around 45,000 hotels, and he has employed around 350,000 people, and he is the youngest billionaire in India. If you can imagine the person, a young guy who was like without money, he became the youngest billionaire of India. So this is how, if you are entrepreneur, you can like change the lives of the person who was just looking for a job is now providing job to more than 350,000 people. So you can imagine the impact of entrepreneurship. And this is how we also have to start in Pakistan. I do travel to different universities and research institutes. I have conducted the trainings for the faculty as well as for the students, so we can introduce the concept of entrepreneurship, especially to our final year students, so they can have a better idea that how they can work on different projects that can be translated into some tangible products or services. So hopefully you could have got some motivation from the two stories that I have just shared with you. Let me share some of like my slides, so you can have a better idea that how we can have uh, like what is the this is like a presentation I mostly give to different universities. So I do introduce the concept of innovation and entrepreneurship, and recently HEC also wrote to university that they should introduce they should engage the final year students to the local problem. This is how we can solve like the local problems, and we can bring out the solutions for our people. So you can imagine like the mango season is coming. So these are the mangoes on the very left side. At the bottom, you can see these are the mangoes in present. The price of these mangoes is around maybe 200 rupees per kg. And the mango at the top, these are the Miyazaki mango from Japan, and they have the value of 250,000 rupees per kg. So this is how we can like improve the agriculture in Pakistan. We can introduce some of the varieties which can be very beneficial. Like if you have this tree, for example, at your home, you can have enough money to continue your studies, and you have enough money even to do your marriage. So you can imagine that how impactful it could be to go towards these kind of things. And so discovery consists of seeing what everyone has seen and thinking what nobody has thought. So this is how we can bring some discoveries. And there are several definitions of innovations, but I mostly say that is direct, quantifiable, economic benefit. So innovation, so there is a difference of inventions and innovations. So inventions are you can do anything new, and innovation is like the things that you have produced but that have some economic benefit. That could be a product, like you have introduced a new product, could be like new software, or it could be a new model of your cell phone. This could be a process, like there are several process industries and you have shortened the process. It could be a practice, like initially the patient had to visit the doctors, but now there are virtual doctors, and even in future the robots will be the doctors. And it could be improvement in service, or it could be a total social change. So innovation that brings the social change. And entrepreneurs are actually those people who actually they introduce new goods, new services, and that have some economic value. So that's a difference. There is a so sometime if I'll be there in the university, I will introduce you that what is the difference between the business and entrepreneurship, and how entrepreneurship could be really benefit, because entrepreneurs are the people who can bring up the real value, the real. So this is mainly based on knowledge. For example, everybody of you is using one of the application, that is WhatsApp. So this application was like started in 2009 and it was sold in 2016, worth 19 billion US dollars. So that's almost equivalent to total export of Pakistan. Just single application that was developed by two people, that has the worth of 19 billion US dollars. And recently, the Twitter, that there's another application we use for communication on social media that sold in 44 billion US dollars. So this is how the things that the knowledge actually, this is the entrepreneurship. This is how they have the value that's based on the knowledge. So how innovation happens, this is actually something based on problem, because recently, just like we had the corona problem, and there are lot of innovations. I can like give so many examples. We can diagnose the corona from voice, from the cough, for example. So this is how big it is. And there is like so much innovation that happened during the corona period. And that also happened through interdisciplinary get together. Or innovation also happen in you have the resources, you have ideas, and you have freedom of both. And for this, the universities are best places to do the innovations. Universities, why you are at the best place? I must say that more than 50% innovations, they are happening in the universities and research institutes. So you are at the best place because there is a high flow of talent in the universities. There is environment, there is interdisciplinary environment. Like you are the people from biomedical engineering, from biology, from physics, from chemistry, from computer sciences. So you can share your ideas with each other, and this is how we can bring the innovation. And the universities have the infrastructure, you can run your experiments. And the best thing is there is interdisciplinarity, and there is environment, like you can go to the mentors, your teachers could be your mentor, those help you to do the things. So this is just one example, because recently, as you know, we are like for the diagnosis, there are several ways, but in future, that diagnosis could be through the breast sensing. So just you go to the doctor office and they can like take your breath, and from that they can diagnose around 800 different diseases, mainly your lung disease, like either you are suffering from lung cancer or some lung allergy, or you have some mouth infection, or so you have a viral infection of lungs, or something like that. So this is how powerful this is, that in future you just go to the doctor and this is not like in kind of like they have to take the biopsy or something, or you have to take the blood. This is just like you take the breath and you can do the lot of diagnosis. This is how powerful this is. So these are the 10 most innovative countries in the world, according to World Economic Forum report 2021. And this is how I'm just giving you these examples so you can have an idea that these are the innovative countries, and we can also be one of the innovative country in the future. So how these are innovative countries? The number one is Switzerland, and they actually economy based on knowledge. I have given several examples, and when I'll be there in person, I'll give you several examples from Singapore, from Switzerland, that how Switzerland is focusing on. For example, one of the things that they have recently introduced, one of the startup I was following, and they have totally disrupted the PCR. For PCR, initially it was like the conventional PCR. So you run on the thermocycler and you have to run the gel. And then there was like real-time PCR. So we can do the diagnosis in real time. And it also takes like around 90 to 120 minutes. But recently they have introduced a system in which you can run the PCR like in even at the very hard place. And so this is how this is so powerful that you can like run the PCR in villages, and it also takes just like for example, it will take just 20 minutes to run the PCR. So this is how they are. And one of my colleagues, I always say, Mr. Norris, he's working on microfluidic, doing wonderful job. So they have a total focus on cutting edge technologies, and this is how they bring the impact. Number two is Sweden, and Sweden have well designed universities. So the universities are actually bringing the innovation. And number three is the US, and the US is like global facing market and information and communication technology. So US, and the big tech companies like Tesla is there, Apple is there, Amazon is there. So these are Walmart and so on. So these are the companies which have like even you see that Apple is a $1 trillion company now. They have more money than the total country like the Pakistan have. So this is how they are like a major world companies. And they're the professor. This is one of the professor, my favorite professor, Robert Langer. I had the communication with him. So they actually how they are making impact is through their patents, because he has over 1,000 patents, and there are not around 1,000 patents so far from Pakistan. So from these patents, they are earning the money, and this is how they are making the impact. Number four is UK. You see, this is the image from the university. The Cambridge University has produced around 100 Nobel laureates. The total Islamic world has produced four, and those even worked in the developed world. So this is how the universities are making the impact. I met with one of the Nobel laureate, Professor Tim Hunt, and I asked him the question that you are in the Cambridge, and how Cambridge is producing so many Nobel laureates, and that is creating an impact. And he said, we have a very good infrastructure. We give the freedom to our students, and we develop a strong background on which they actually are making the discoveries. Number five is Korea, because they have a lot of innovative companies. You see LG is there, Dio is there, Samsung is there. So these are the companies which have like a lot of patents. Even the patents from Korea are just equivalent to the number of patents from US. So they have very good education system, and the patents is one of the major things. Then we take the example of Netherlands. Netherlands is a very small country. I've been there several times. And I just give you an idea that the total export, the agriculture export of this country, it's a very small country, even smaller, like much smaller than Punjab. And the total export is over 100 billion US dollars. This is how they are creating the impact. And you see, like in Pakistan, 95% of our potato seed is coming from Netherlands. So we haven't dwelt that. So how big is that market that if we can dwell the local seed? Finland is another small country in Europe. They are working on technology, research, and higher education has made an impact. And Singapore, I have already given you an example that is a very small country, but they have made a huge impact. And Denmark is like you can see they have the number of researchers and good quality education that has took that country to a leading position. And then Germany is based on the number of patents and the technology. Also, big technology giants they are coming from Germany. So this is how these countries has made the impact. So this is a list of the most innovative countries in 2021. And this is the ranking of countries, the South Asian countries. Like Pakistan was last year at 107 position. We improved. Like this is for the first time. I'm a member of World Economic Forum since 2012, and since then we were like quite behind 100 of countries, but now we are at 99 position. And if we compare, you can see like India is at 46 position, Iran is at 60, Turkey is 41, and Malaysia at 36 position. So this is how these countries are making impact. This is my journey. I started working initially on hepatitis B vaccine development, and I was working on a vaccine which is like has the dual impact. It should be worked as a vaccine as well as a therapeutic vaccine for those people who are suffering from hepatitis B. And then later on, I moved to US back in 2008 and started working on a number of recombinant therapeutic proteins like on interferon, albumin, interferon, chimeric protein, thymosin, interferon, chimeric protein, number of other therapeutically important proteins. And then I worked in the area of stem cells, and the future of treatment. Those who are working in area of biomedical sciences or in medical sciences. So this is the future of medicine. It's called a regenerative medicine that like from here to toe, in every organ, in every tissue, they have a big impact. So this is a area I'm working for the last 15 years and helping the hospitals and other laboratories to develop in this important area. So IPS is another technology in which we de-differentiate the mature cell back into embryonic stem cell-like cell. So the first time it was like happened in 2006. I was started working in 2008, and we could de-differentiate the mature cell back into embryonic, and they have a lot of applications. So sometime if I'll be there, will be lecture on IPS technology. Definitely, I'll give you several examples that how IPS technology is working. This is my favorite area these days. I'm working in aging. So initially, my focus was how we can reverse the mature cells back into embryonic stem cell like cells. Now we are focusing that how we can actually slow down the aging process, or ultimately how we can reverse the aging process, that how we can make the older people who are who could walk by a stick, they can run. So how we can make them young. And this is recently been there are some successful examples. There are several. So recently there are also family of genes. These are called SID2 family of genes. So if we can activate them, we can reverse the aging process. So this is this is being done in mouse. A 2 years old mouse was converted into a 6 months old mouse. So that's equivalent to a 60 years old person is reversed into a 20 years old young person. So this was done in Harvard University and published in a good scientific journal, in which just one drug, that is NMN, nicotinamide mononucleotide, they have given them to the mouse, and they could reverse the aging process. I also actively worked in area of tissue engineering. This is how we can actually develop the tissues in the laboratories that can be used. So I worked on the liver, in which we can decellularize it, we remove all the cells, and the extracellular matrix is there. We can introduce the cells, and we can grow the cells inside. So like in future, if somebody need a donor, liver donor, so in that case, we can have a piece of the liver from that person own cells, we can grow into the laboratory, and we can use for the transplantation purpose. So this is the different like decellularization of heart. So this is the heart that was decellularized, and then we can repopulate the heart with the GFP positive cells. So this is how we can grow the beating heart in the laboratory. So this is one of the products that I have developed in Pakistan. That is Helion POC, in which we have taken the placenta. This is a placental membrane. This is being trialed in 3 hospitals currently for burn patient and for the diabetic patient. So this is how it works. Actually, you can directly apply on the one. This is the product I have developed in Pakistan, and its name is Helion POC. That is a tissue engineering product. This is how we are making an impact. This is the future for tissue engineering, that we can actually generate a lot of tissues in the laboratory. I also worked on one of very interesting thing that is called Optogenetics, in which we can control the brain function through light. So this is very, very interesting. For example, if somebody is depressed, we have to take the medicine for months. So in this technology, we can activate the pleasure center in the brain in just milliseconds. So this is how powerful this technology is. So these are the innovative technologies of 2020. I will not give the details because the time is very short. So sometime if I'll be there, then I'll definitely explain. So another technology is genome synthesis that's coming up. And there's quite a focus on next generation of stem cells in which we are working. And CAR T cells are there for the blood tumors. They are being used, but they are super expensive. So this is the technology that's coming up. We are working with one of the technology in which we are modifying the stem cells for the cancer therapy. And recently, we are collaborating with Aalto University, with Cancer Care Hospital and Research Center and Shokohanam and other centers, in which we are trying to introduce some of a novel approach in which we will modify the stem cells to take up a product, convert into an active drug, and this is how we can kill the cancer cells. So I'll not give the details because time is short, so sometime I'll be there and I'll explain in detail. So these are some of the products that are, I didn't move to the academic side because I just wanted that in Pakistan, we should start a biotech company in which we can produce some local products, because in Pakistan we are importing 99% of our biological products. If we compare with Iran, for example, Iran is making 90% of their biological products locally, but we are importing. So this is our effort, and these are the products that we have got in our company that is based in NUS, in National Science and Technology Park. So the company name is Chatta Biocare. So we have well the biofertilizers, we have locally produced the silage inoculants. We are working on eco-seeds. We have worked on agrigel. There's a product that reduces the need of water in agriculture from 25 to 50%. You can imagine we have a water crisis now, so this product can be really helpful in agriculture. We are working on probiotics, on animal probiotics mainly. We have developed a Bacto-Clean product, which is used as a cleaner in fish ponds, and Helion Park I have showed to you, and Helion Park powder. So that's another product that can be used on the wounds. So this is how we are working. There are several other stories from Pakistan. These are the startups. For example, Ms. Sadaf Shaheen, she has started a company, Women Technology House in Islamabad. So these are the details. So this is how she has taken the initiative. Sehat Kahani, you know, is another success story from Pakistan, a startup that has now value of millions of dollars, and just started in 2017 and has an impact. PJ Microlab is another colleague. She started Bushra Jameel. She has started her lab, and now she's making the RNA extraction kit, DNA extraction kit, and many other biological products that she's producing locally. So who are more innovators, men or women? So you can, you have to answer this. You can discuss with each other for a while, and then you can share your answer. So this is the findings so far. There are more patents from the male, but the things are changing rapidly now because women, they are much more in the science. And also this is one of the big study that was done in California, in which they have scanned 46,000 brains, and according to that, women have more active brain than men. So if there are more female participants, you should enjoy this statement. I'll also sometime, if I'll be there, I'll give more idea about this. So this is my journey. I'm also serving as president of National Academy of Young Scientists now. This is the first National Young Academy of Asia that is fifth in the world, and that has created an impact because now we are connected to more than 50,000 young researchers of the country. And we have running more than 15 programs to promote science and technology in Pakistan. And we have conducted trainings in over 100 universities of Pakistan. So this is how we have taken these initiatives, and they have created an impact. Inshallah, they will have a bigger impact on future. So thank you once again for inviting me to this event. I must congratulate the organizers for this activity, because many other renowned speakers are there. So definitely you have learned a lot from this activity. And my email address is given on the very first slide. So if you have any question, you can definitely write to me. I'll be happy to answer. And my WhatsApp number is also given there. So you can contact me, or you can visit me in National Science and Technology Park, and I'll be happy to have more discussion with you. With this, thank you very much for joining the this event, and I wish great success to all of you.